Rare gunfire in the heart of downtown Milwaukee.
Just kind of stopped in my tracks, didn't really know what to do.
A Milwaukee police officer shot and killed a man in Red Arrow Park this afternoon.
I was very scared. I walked out of the Milwaukee Center and heard the 5 gunshots.
Thousands of people pass through this area every day.
The mayor calls it an isolated incident and says downtown is very safe.
Things are getting back to normal downtown tonight.
But police are still talking to witnesses and tracking down surveillance video to figure out exactly what happened.
We have team coverage from Jermont Terry, Katie Crowther, and Charles Benson.
We begin with Charles Benson.
And Mike and Carol, I'm standing right where this shooting took place. It's a familiar place right in front of this Starbucks. Now, the shots rang out sometime around mid-afternoon, and we know they could be heard all the way across the street inside City Hall and inside office buildings all around the park. An unlikely sound of shots fired in a section of downtown that's usually distracted by cars and commerce.
I heard a series of shots, loud gunfire. I counted 5. And people began to scurry immediately.
The shots came from Red Arrow Park. Chief Flynn says a 38-year-old officer with 13 years on the job was responding to a complaint about a man laying in the park. It turned into a struggle when police say the man took the officer's baton.
The subject began to beat the officer with the wooden baton, striking him in the head.
Shortly after that, shots rang out.
The officer withdrew his sidearm and fired several shots at the individual, striking him numerous times.
Flynn says as many as 10 shots were fired. For now, the investigation is early, and police are still asking lots of questions.
Well, one of the questions you'll try to answer have to deal with how many times the officer fired and why he needed to fire more than once.
Well, we'll certainly examine it. They're trained to use the minimum amount of deadly force necessary to stop the threat.
When asked if some people thought the number of shots fired was excessive, Flynn responded,
I don't know how many of them have been hit in the head with a baton.
Mayor Barrett was inside City Hall when he heard something unusual.
I heard the gunshots. And remarked that sounded like gunshots.
And a lot of people heard those shots downtown. We're told the injured officer was taken to the hospital. He has since been treated and released. We're live in downtown Milwaukee. Charles Benson, today's TMJ4.